All right, welcome back to another episode of D&D Podcast. I'm your girl, Dall D.
Voni no Geo.
And it's so good to see you guys again. And those that don't know us, we are just two good friends, talking about life. So I want to make sure that I say that, moving forward. Because, sometimes we do have new followers.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, definitely want to shout out to all of our new followers and all of our returning followers. And today we are doing something that we have been wanting to talk about for a very long time.
Right.
We're talking about the birth of D&D Podcast.
And that's so weird. We should have did this like a
long time ago. But y'all, we have been through some trials, tribulations, and just really learning more about the podcast world and learning more about Voni. Mm-hmm. She's learning more about me. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Oh, right.
So you want to start or you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay. So, Dibblin' Dabbin' Podcast. This is, believe it or not, I always wanted to start a podcast.
Right.
But I really didn't know when I wanted to do it, why I wanted to do it. I just knew that I wanted to actually just get up and talk. Because as Voni will tell y'all, Dallas is a social butterfly.
A socialist.
Listen. I don't know how I got to this point in my life, but I do like to laugh. I like to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to share my story when I can because I like to help people. Because you never know who may need it, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea came, I finally said the idea out loud December of 2023, so this past December. I was at a work event out in Arlington at my previous job, and we were just kind of getting to know everybody and like about hobbies and things like that.
Okay.
And I had said, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. Mm-hmm. And that's really the first time I ever said, I actually want to do this. Mm-hmm. And so on the flight back home, I was just thinking, okay, well, if I want to start a podcast, why do I want to do it? And like I just said previously, I love to talk about a very, very various things, and I love to make people laugh. Right. And I don't necessarily have to do it like when I'm in person. So let's figure out how I can share this with everybody, right? So I got the equipment all at home. I ordered the mic. I ordered the little light. I ordered just a whole bunch of setup. And I was like, damn, this shit kind of expensive. So I was like, but then, at the time I was working and things like that. I was like, still going to grad school at the time.
Right.
I'm like, how am I going to do everything? Mm-hmm. Because I have to think about editing. I have to think about, writing out my script, just figuring out topics, all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to have time to do this. So I put it on pause. Mm-hmm. And then maybe about 2-3 months later is when I asked you, right? Kind of sort of, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did we even get on the subject? Because I remember there was a point that we were just randomly talking about something, and then we got to the podcast.
Right. So, because I had a podcast.
Yes.
For a hot second. Mine started when around COVID.
Oh, okay.
Because even though I had the makeup line.
Yes.
And it's crazy because I wasn't even sitting at home.
Yeah.
I was at work.
Oh, you were still at the job?
Yeah, we were still at work during COVID. And, we just had the mask on.
Yeah.
Well, it was. They had cut to where it was 2 people in the office. So
okay.
It was just 2. So I still had a lot of time on my hand.
Right.
So I was like, I think I want to do a makeup line, which is crazy because I have on but I don't have on no eyeshadow. But that's my thing. Okay, Mighty Glam, check it out. Okay. Anyway, then one of the I don't know. I guess I could say her name, Bailey Sarian.
Yeah. I know who that is.
One of my friend Hope, she was doing my hair one day, and I was like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "Huh,
yeah,
a podcast while I'm doing makeup. That's pretty cool, right?"
Right.
Because I had already started listening to a lot of podcasts anyway.
Right.
And then, so I tried to do that.
Yeah.
But I tried to do it myself at first.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself is one thing.
Man, listen.
Answering yourself.
It's a whole different story, yes.
So I was like, yeah. So I did maybe 4 episodes.
Okay.
And I just couldn't keep it up.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, let me get some guests on there, right? Yeah. So I got 3, I think I had 3 guests. Mm-hmm. That I think I was so busy looking at different podcasts and trying to see what they were talking about. We were talking about like crime.
Yeah.
And I was like, this ain't even stuff that, like you said, I don't think I'm very funny.
I think you're funny.
But I just wasn't feeling the things that everybody I can't talk about crime aspects. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and share this too. Right. So I was like, nah, come bring it back. So I was gonna start doing shorts.
Okay.
Just kind of not affirmations, but kind of hey girl, get yourself together. Some things like that. Because I have these cards and stuff that give you daily stuff. And I'm like, I gotta put a twist on something. Right?
Oh yeah.
The idea, cool. Had a whole little layout.
Yeah.
Had the mics, like you said, the mic, the light, everything. And I just was like, I couldn't get it together. Like, I just felt so
together,
crazy, like, talking, and, like, then I kept messing up, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I know y'all probably like, why is she laughing? Because I swear, it's like a nervous laugh. Almost,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I was just like, I chaired it. Then you put a post up there about dibbling dabbling, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna send you my layout.
Yes.
And you said, what, you got a podcast?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I did. That's how it went like that.
Right.
It was so crazy. Like, me and Dallas, we wound up texting. That was weird because we already text, but like, but we text each other like the layout that we had, the different topics that we had, and lo and behold, they were pretty much all the same.
Yes.
That was super crazy.
And it made it so easy to work with you.
So we just merged most of them. Like, I think one of them was like, like our Bar as Hell episode.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, but I think mine was, you talk about how you met him.
Correct.
I talked about how I can't meet nobody. It just merged. Everything was so crisp. Like, I love that. Like, but that's why I said this is when we talk a lot, me and Dallas, we talk a lot of course, for the podcast. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm pretty cool with everything you come up with because it just aligns really. So glad it was you.
Yes. I'm so glad with Voni because even though I have I'm very good with social media and things like that, but for me, it's really the consistency. And Voni is really consistent with, making our posts, making our captions. To me, I believe you do. You do better than me.
That's something because I'd be like, oh damn, I forgot to post.
No. I feel like you do better than me because because I have like 50 billion things going on.
Yeah.
And then it also helps you do get off work before me. So
and I start early too.
Yes. Yeah. So you're up already thinking about things. I'm like, girl, I haven't even had a cup of coffee.
Right.
So Voni is actually really in charge of our social media, and I've told her this before. 99.9% of the time, any ideas that Voni has, I'm pretty on board with it.
You told me that this morning.
I literally told you that this morning on the way here. Because I trust you and you do a pretty good job at keeping it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And then she also was making our reels at prior to us coming to this studio.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Yes. So and we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
But Voni was actually in charge of making all of our reels, and I'm very good at making reels, but once again, just making it consistent and because that whole editing process was a whole thing.
But like
y'all.
you do good with the content. Like you're
Thank
out.
Thank
you. Like we went to the live show. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, I forget about that part. I'm like so busy like taking it all in. I guess.
Yeah.
So you do really good with that. Then once you send everything, that's. I mean, we do balance each other out.
Yes, we do.
Like
we do.
Your ideas same. Everything I'm pretty much on board with too.
Yeah.
Like I said, even with the topics, everything aligned so good. It was just easy to mesh them all together. You know what I mean? So yeah. That was all right, girl.
See, I'm telling you, maybe God was telling us that we were going to connect. In a different way.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Kind of like off topic, not really though. But me and Dallas we are in the sorority together. But we kind of. Like, I guess they wanted us to meet anyway because we were CJ majors.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of, I don't even remember, like, how we even started, like, texting.
I remember. You remember when it was Founders Day for Centennial?
No, even before then, we were texting and
we were.
Already, but I don't know why. I think it just had something to do with that. They were like, oh, y'all two CJ majors, y'all get together. Blah.
Yeah, I think it was that.
So... Founders Day. That day was rough.
Man, so we have to tell y'all the backstory. So this is really when Voni kind of really and we both really connected with each other. So
shout out to Dallas, y'all.
Listen. So those that don't know, we are both part of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and our Founders Day, our 100th year celebration was almost 2 years ago. Yep. So back in November of 2022. And that was like a weird weekend because it was like chilly and then it was also raining. Yeah, because it's in November. So, it's a gamble living in Houston.
Right.
Whether it's going to be hot or cold or rainy or not. And we were going to, what club was it? Was it
Club Grooves.
We were going to Grooves.
Better.
Man, we should have known better. But hey, you know what? It was free to get in. All of our sorors were going to be there. And so I'm texting Voni, mind you, we were both running late.
Yeah.
We both couldn't get it together with the outfits, but we were just like, whatever. And Voni, you were living further than you were now. You was way in PV, and I was still living in Webster. Yeah. So we're both coming from opposite directions. But anyway, so I get there before Voni, and I'm waiting on her. And the parking lot. So if y'all have been to Grooves,
I said Grooves is not a bad.
It's not about space,
but that damn parking.
Oh my God, the parking is the worst thing about going to Grooves.
Yeah.
And so Grooves is here, right? And then the parking lot is here, but it's like because it was raining, it was super muddy.
Yeah.
And mind you, I was driving an SUV at the time. Voni Poor little Voni's car.
I know. My car has been through. Look, my car ain't had no front bumper at one time. Like my whole bumper, and I don't even have no like rinky dink car. Like,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
So,
no, not at all.
Like man, because I first that day was just like you said, it was just rough.
It was rough for both of us. Yeah.
So I really ain't feeling the rain. Even it's raining right now, and I was like.
Yeah, like we just gotta go.
My bumper has been off, so my bumper is tender, so I cannot drive fast. Okay?
Correct.
If that fly off again, we
gotta
throw the whole car away. But anyway, so yeah, I got there,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, turn in the park. The guy was like, "Park in there. It's free."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, cool." And it was dark.
Yeah, it was
so
dark.
I couldn't see nothing, and I mean, lo and behold, I made that right.
Yep.
Boom, in the hole I went.
Yeah, and when I tell y'all, man, that I've been in mud before.
Yeah.
But then when your car gets stuck in the mud,
yeah,
like that shit sucks. And mind you, it was Founders Day, all nothing but females out there,
right?
Because all the men was already inside,
right?
So we were all like, "What the fuck?" So I turned back around because mind you, I have an SUV.
Yeah.
So I turned back around. Mind you, I'm in heels, so like, let me take my damn heels off, put some different shoes on.
Right.
And so I'm calling my husband, I'm like, Larry. Fucking Voni is stuck in the mud. He's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yes." Like, what do I do? And so I was like, "Okay, let me see if I can try to push her out the mud."
My car sits so low, so like I said, the bumper's tender. I'm that forever. That bumper gonna fly off. Like I don't even get that because I mean. I know it's like plastic, but I was like, this is crazy how your bumper could just like come. Anyway, sorry y'all.
No, you good. Girl, we get flashbacks.
Yeah, that was a rough night.
And then you remember the other stores that got stuck too.
So y'all, like I'm like hanging out the window, like don't come this way. You go, and then the girl, she just was like, well, how? What you say? And then fell right in the hole.
She fell right in the hole.
Like,
it was crazy. But at least I was able to get the other girls out. Yeah. So what I did, y'all, I was driving. It was a Honda CRV, so the bigger SUV, and I basically went all the way forward. I was on the gas, and I literally pushed them out the mud. And luckily, I didn't get stuck.
Yeah.
And so I tried to do the same for Voni. At least I was able to kind of move your shit, but it was still low key stuck. And so the security finally came out, which I'm still fucking pissed about that.
Yeah. So that the one security guard, he was real cool. Though. Yeah. He was like, man, you look nice, and I feel like my outfit.
Your outfit was cute though.
I was mad. I had no makeup, no lashes, like nothing like that. It just started off as a rough day.
Yeah, it was rough.
You know how we already in a mood.
Yes.
Yes. Something. I was
it's just like one thing after another. I'm like, bro.
And I was like, I'm about to go home, and I was like, well, damn, I can't because I'm stuck in the mud.
That's what I'm saying. So I was telling Voni because she ended up having to get a tow truck, but I'm like, Voni, you already here. Yeah. Let's go get some drinks. So I finally convinced Voni to come inside, and the rest was history. We ended up having a good night, and she was able to get her car out, and she made it home. And I made sure I waited up for her and make sure she got stuff. I did. I was up late, and I was telling Larry, I was like, I gotta wait, make sure she gets home.
Yeah, and I was like, because you was like, I'm like, you are not gonna stay out here. Is the cop right here? Because he was like, I'm gonna stay. I can't leave until you leave anyway. Yeah, like, cool. So but that's where our friendship started.
Correct.
Out of crisis.
out of a crisis.
It really did.
Literally.
It's tough since, like for real. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. And I'm telling you, that's a story that I'll probably never forget.
I know. That was such a rough night. Like,
man, listen.
Off, like to this day.
And you know what? That was my first Founders Day because I came in after Founders Day in 2021. So that was actually my first Founders Day. Was that your second, right? Because you came in before I did.
Was that my second?
Yeah, because you came in spring. So yeah, you would at least had to have two, right?
No, I don't. But you know that's crazy because our Founders Day in 2021, I didn't attend anything.
Oh, okay,
so, like,
okay, I see.
That weekend, like we are definitely talking about Greek life right now.
But it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back.
But yeah, that was my first time meeting everybody. Like when I walked in, and even our president, I saw her and she was talking to somebody, and I was like, I was like, I gotta go speak to her, right?
Correct.
And she was like. She said, I knew you, but I couldn't.
Yes,
I was like, why do I know her? Because everything was via Zoom.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And we were on for COVID and stuff.
Correct.
So yeah, I wasn't going out, but yeah, that was my first weekend meeting everybody. So I was glad I went. Yes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think have I been to a Founders Day since? I don't think I have.
No, you haven't. No, because last year you didn't go. I didn't go last year, but this year I'll probably go this year. But anyways, y'all, that's pretty much how we got started. And fast forward to like Voni was saying, that's kind of how we got started. So fast forward to about March of this year, that's when we really started putting D&D into more fruition. Yeah. But let's talk about the studio search.
Oh yeah, because we were gonna do Zoom.
Yes.
At first, which I mean, Zoom. We did a couple of Zoom.
Yeah, we done Zoom.
That's just because of we had a lot going on.
Correct.
Dallas graduating. be just
you went to Miami for your
sure
birthday.
Did. Yeah, I about that. Sure did.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just easier to do it on Zoom for that couple of months.
Correct.
But yeah, searching for the studio. Oh my gosh,
y'all! When I tell y'all, we were just having the roughest time finding a studio.
Was like either like crazy high prices, which
correct.
You know, I mean, I know you got to pay for your work, of course. Yeah. You know, but it was like it wasn't worth the money.
Correct.
You know, then we're driving. We drove. How long was that drive? Like, well, I ain't gonna say the studio name, of course. You know, but it was like almost.
Yours was like almost like 40.
Yeah, no, I think it was like an hour.
It was an hour.
Like almost like an hour.
And mine was about 30, and that was with a toll because when we got to the area, you know, all that traffic builds on 45 South.
Right.
So we were literally just coming off of the major highways into more traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like finding a studio that was really tough. Like I said, this studio dope. Like I'm sold. Okay. I'm here till it's over.
Yes, and we'll definitely put their info in the link. Sure. But I'm telling y'all, like just from what we were going through to today. Well, by the time y'all see it, we'll have been here for a while.
Yeah.
But it's just I wish y'all could see the full room. Like the room is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We have AC.
Right. We got complimentary water. Like
we got water. It's just
like I'm just big on like
customer service.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like make me feel like I'm at the house.
Yes. Yes, because the other studio, like I felt like I literally was in like somebody's backyard. Y'all in there trying to get a little 8-track. Like no, it was a mess.
I mean, the studio that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Like even going back to like the editing and stuff like
correct.
That's something new to me. I'm not no kind of media nothing.
Yeah.
I'm on social media, but I'm not like So that
that was a challenge too.
Yeah, D&D definitely.
We done came a long way.
Some trials and tribulations.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
And then, just even the fact that we started a podcast in itself. You know, a lot of people say podcasts don't make it past episode 3. Here we are, just episode.
By the time 13, y'all see this will be 13. Yeah.
Yeah. So we doing it. And it's kind of like I said, even us being us too.
Correct.
It's still kind of hard to come up with different topics. You try to stay with the time.
Yes, you do.
Like that. Then you try to be politically correct.
Correct.
In certain areas, like certain things we try to dress up in a sense.
Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Then you don't want to be cliche. You don't want somebody everybody else is talking about. So having a podcast is very tough. Then you gotta try to get your followers up. You know what I mean? Like me and Dallas both. Well, I think I have like 1,000 followers on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You got 1,000 plus. Mm-hmm. We only got like maybe less than 200. Yeah,
so that's definitely been a challenge. Is just just trying to figure out how can we spread the word and things like that. Because we follow quite a bit of other podcasts and they follow us too. Yeah. But now we got to reach out to other people.
Yeah. Another challenge. Well, not even a challenge. Just getting guests on.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, our first guest. Shout out to Tasha, my lactation.
Yes. And we'll make sure.
Kid, right.
Yes, and we'll make sure we include her info too.
Yeah, like she reached out to us, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
So I was like, okay, we get a little
traction.
Exactly. You know, so it's a challenge, but I think we're up for it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna have a lot of things in store. You want to touch up on that? That'll be great.
Yes. So for those that don't know, we're pretty much almost done with season 1, believe it or not. So we do film multiples at a time. So once again, by the time y'all see this, we'll probably almost be done with season 1. Now I think about it. But season 1, we just was really the trials phase.
Yeah.
And then season 2, one of the things I was just telling Voni this morning, one of the things that we want to focus on is sponsorships. Definitely. So we can't really say too much about who, we have lined up, but we do have a few lined up for y'all. And, we really want to not only just, give our brand visibility, but also bring visibility to other brands.
Right, because we do know a lot of business owners. Like I said, I'm a business owner myself.
Yes.
That I do not promote. So yes, I will be promoting you too. Like I said, my lactation. Yeah. She has multiple businesses. That girl is Black Girl Magic in itself.
Yes.
My mom.
Yeah.
I got my mom.
Oh, those are so cute, by the way. I like those. Those are cute.
Shout her out too. Boutique. We just know so many people. You know, and even we got our second guest. How do you say that? Like your inquiry, your second guest inquiry from a very professional woman.
Yes, we did.
We will wait to give out her information. So we want that, but I think her coming is going to be great. Yeah,
that's going to open up a lot of different doors because of the topic that we'll be talking about.
Right, because then we're also for season 2 we're going to try to like kind of go back to some of the old episodes and just kind of catch up on some things. And I think her coming is going to definitely help a lot of people that need that mental health.
Yep. Yes. And as you can see, we're really big on mental health, so that's a recurring theme on our show for sure.
Definitely.
What else? Just really, we are thinking about doing like some other things, like for example, giveaways. Once again, can't really get too much into it because we want that to be a surprise. Exactly. But also, like we definitely want to help engage with y'all. But we like giving back because Voni was a business. I used to be a business owner myself. So we definitely want to give back to the people, especially for those that have stuck with us and things like that.
Right.
Also, so you remember because we did the live podcast show the other day, meeting Paige, and for those that know Paige,
shout out to Paige.
Shout out to Paige. Two things about Paige. Paige was one of the people. Let me say that again. She was one of the reasons why I started the podcast. Because Paige was just very authentic. Yeah. And Paige is hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
she really is.
if y'all see even just one episode, you will be crying.
Of adultish wines.
Yes. She is just her authentic self. Like, I feel like how she was on her podcast, exactly how she was when we met her the other day.
Yeah, very free, very open, very free-spirited.
And I like that about her. And then the fact that she's just so comfortable behind the camera.
Yeah.
That made me like, okay, well, I'm like, if this is how people perceive me, I can do that behind the camera.
See, that's tough because I wasn't comfortable behind the camera.
Really?
At all. Because like
I
keep talking my forehead. Like, stuff like that, like, my forehead it's always going to be me and the forehead. Like, it's always coming.
At this point, your forehead about to have a name at this point.
For real. Like, for real. But, like, yeah, I don't like being on. I don't like my voice.
I see.
Like,
yeah.
A lot of people don't know I used to be in a small little music group.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We can talk about that.
Talk about that too often.
I did want to know.
It was 4 of us, and I'm the only one that didn't go all the way.
Really? We need an episode on that. I am writing that down.
I need to get them here.
Yes. Oh my God, if you could.
Anyway,
yes, we can get back to that
too, y'all. But yeah, like I didn't like to hear myself, So that was, and I don't know. I think it was like, I don't know if it was an insecure thing. I just was like,
yeah, no, I have a deeper voice too, so I get it.
And then it's like I said, I know y'all be like, what the hell is she laughing at? I get the giggles all the time, and I'm like, I feel like I repeat myself a lot.
No,
that's why I couldn't do it by myself.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking to myself, I'm answering myself. Then I'm like, was that right? Like it was a lot going on, So yeah, definitely. Podcasting is something.
Yes, and I didn't realize how much of a different world it was.
Yeah.
Like even just, like editing, like having to learn about different lighting.
Yeah.
And then all the network, I didn't even realize how many network events there really are. Yeah. And the fact that I'm glad that we're now finding out about them and we're starting to go. But I'm just like, this really is a whole new world.
Right. And even like you said, going back to like the studio too, with the lighting, like they're like I said, shout out to this. Like I'm telling y'all,
these are nice lights in here.
How they didn't won me over because like
correct.
We didn't know about that kind of stuff.
Correct. We really didn't.
We had the consultation and it was like, oh no, we do all of that. I felt like that's every person that's doing a podcast needs to find a studio like this. Because a lot of the time you coming in blinded, you don't really know. You don't even know what you're looking for. You
correct. You really don't.
Yeah, you don't know where to start X, Y, Z. So that was pretty cool. I'm glad we found y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Yes. And even editing. I can't remember if I mentioned this. I did all of the editing for our show. Like I'm talking about, I would literally get the file in its raw form. I would have to go cut and insert our intro, our outro, if we needed to edit out anything. That also was very interesting to learn how to do too. But it took me some trials and tribulations. Like at one point I almost said cut this shit,
right?
Because I'm just like it was hard. So the fact that we have someone that professionally knows what they're doing is beautiful, because even right now, like we sound better. We look better on camera.
Skin is forehead. But I'm saying the skin is there. Like everything is good.
Yes, and
like, definitely.
Yes, and we're not just saying that just because we're physically here right now, but
literally, I'm super impressed.
Yes, like y'all just don't know what we've done behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. And then like you said, and I think for me, it was kind of hard going back to like being a social butterfly. I'm not social.
Yeah.
I have this natural mug.
That's okay though. It's okay. Didn't I tell you wear sunglasses? We're gonna get you some nice shades.
I don't even think that'll work because I swear the lady was with the last show. I was like, "What are you smiling at?" And I'm like, "Oh, girl, you in a public space. You're supposed to smile at people, whatever, So that's why I'm glad it was with you because we are different on that that side. So yeah, Dallas is the networker for sure. She networks more, because I don't,
Yeah.
Now I have ideas to like pass out like
Correct.
flyers and wear shirts and stuff. Shout out to our, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that for sure.
Our girl Jasmine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Stuff like that. So I think we do balance each other off.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I'm like, I say stumbling a little bit.
Yeah.
You pick me up. So
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just one of those things that, it just, like I said, we just took a while just to really get that, but it felt so natural. Yeah. I didn't have a problem stepping in and, helping you, and then, like I said, trying to be the social butterfly for both of us, because, baby, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And then, like, even on the first episode, the very first episode, I was showing it to a couple people, and they was like, oh, like, y'all, even
our producer.
Yeah. Like, what episode is it? We like, this episode 1. So the energy was there too.
Correct.
You know
Correct.
what I mean? We're very comfortable. Like I said, because I'm not a social butterfly, but if I know you, I'm
same.
Out, so,
same.
Yeah. But yeah, just any kind of tips for people that's doing podcasts that you have for them?
Definitely honestly, go through trials and tribulations like we did, because it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be days you're frustrated. There's going to be days you forget things, because we have both forgotten to do things, and then we're like, shit, we got to scramble and figure it out. But also, if you're going to do it, I encourage people to do it with other people.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, because, like, sometimes, like, I'll have all these ideas on my mind, but when I tell Voni, I'm like, wait, that don't make sense. Or I ask them, like, does that even make sense to you?
Right.
Because if it don't make sense to you, it's not going to make sense to our followers,
right.
So if you can, I encourage people to do it with somebody else, because at least you'll have that support already.
Right.
Also, just like you said, just don't be afraid to get out there, but also don't be afraid to ask questions, because, we're pretty much really deep into season 1, but we still have a lot to learn.
Yeah,
we still have a lot to learn to grow and things like that. And don't be afraid, like how this is our second studio. That's okay.
Yeah.
So if, the first studio or whatever you're doing first doesn't work, that's totally cool. Just keep going. Just keep researching. Keep reaching out. Ask those questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there was one studio, it was gorgeous studio, but the fact that she didn't have actual equipment, I was just like, well, what kind of studio is this? It's not technically a podcast studio. Like, what are we doing? It
was just a space.
It was just a space in a sense. I'm like, that's not what we need. So just definitely just don't be afraid to get out there.
Yeah. Like I said, I think so. I do think it's easier to do it with somebody, but some people, make sure you're doing it with somebody that you can
vibe with.
Yeah, exactly. Because you might, that's in life, period.
Yes,
you always have that one person that want to take over.
Correct.
Like that. So just kind of be careful with that. But at this big age of 32. You gotta understand, like, that's not what it is. It's not. It's giving different ideas. So be open minded to different topics.
Sure.
Don't be wrong. Some things is off limits.
Yes.
But no.
Yes.
But I do like some of the topics you bring up, because it helps. It has me open up. I'm like,
thank you.
Talk about that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, we balance each other off. Like, Dallas might have the topic. I'll have the title.
Yes.
I have the title. She has the topics. And
correct.
we kind of just, it works. It does work. I am glad that we did this.
Yes.
I look forward to season 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All of that.
Don't get us on TV, girl.
Man, the day I tell people that we done made it on a live podcast or TV,
that's what
listen, it's gonna be a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's dope right now. Like,
correct.
Even when we get the little bling, we got new followers.
Yes,
even if it's just that one person, I'm like,
it makes a difference. And it makes us feel good. It makes us feel seen. Like that comment. Did you see the comment of my friend?
I did.
When I tell you, I almost teared up.
Yeah,
I was
bragging about that one.
Me too.
I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Yes.
And then yesterday my auntie called. She was like, I need the $10 because she was watching our episode that we just did about. I said, I'm like, I was like, hold on, what's the cash app? She was like, no, that was good, because we got a lot of compliments on that.
Oh, we did.
The dream about the dollar.
Oh, I love that. Okay, good.
That was one that we got a lot of compliments on.
Yeah, we did.
The very first one, I guess that one was a hit.
Oh yeah, everybody loved the bar as hell.
Yeah, I was like, what about the other ones? But that's okay. We gonna get there.
We gonna get there.
But yeah, I definitely, like I said, I do enjoy doing this. It keeps me going.
Yeah, it does.
I was in a place where I didn't want to go any deeper.
Yeah.
In a little sad,
Me
little
too.
space.
Me too.
So this definitely keeps me going.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep.
Yeah, it makes me look forward to doing something on the weekends, because I'm back in grad school. God, dog. I got a lot going on, but this is something that's constant.
Yeah.
This is something that, yes, I think about, but I don't have to like too stress about it.
Right.
Obviously we have had stressful times, but not like, oh my God, like what are we doing type shit. No, it hasn't got to that. So I'm definitely looking forward, to keep moving and keep growing with you as well. Yeah.
Girl.
No, don't start crying because, baby, if I cry the lashes off, they ain't coming back on. I ain't got no glue. My glue at home, y'all. Yeah, but other than that, I think that was a really good discussion today, and I'm really glad that we were finally able to share our story. And we'll definitely do these every now and then, just to kind of just give y'all a little more insight about what we do here and also behind the scenes. We'll have to do a behind the scenes video. Yeah. We'll definitely do that for y'all too, but other than that, thank you guys so much for joining with us today. Make sure you follow at Dibble and Dab Pod. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I almost said LinkedIn. I was like, I don't know where LinkedIn came from. No, we are not on there. Spotify for podcasts and YouTube and Apple Podcasts is coming soon. Make sure that you follow your host, and at Instagram I'm at @DallsJacoby_.
My name no Gio. Don't forget your underscore.
And other than that, we will see you guys soon. Bye.